Hey, what's up, guys? Tuki here, back again with another episode of my franchise Hockey Manager 4 Road to Glory series, currently with the Spokane Chiefs. And in today's episode, we will look to wrap up our first season with the team. With a 16-7-3 record, we are currently in second place. We are on the same point pace as the Everett Silvertips, so things are looking pretty good for us. Of course, you know, we have some good pieces to this team. We acquired Michael Rasmussen in the last episode, but we left the last episode by figuring out who we wanted to have on this short list. Players that we are going to keep an eye out on as we move forward through this season in case we need to get a few more reinforcements. Now, the trade deadline is just over a month away on January 10th, so we have a little bit of time to sim and to see how this all plays out before we have to make any decisions. So what do you say we just go ahead and get the sim underway? If anything happens, well, I'll update you on it. Perhaps, though, potentially, I won't be hearing from you until just before the deadline, or you won't be hearing from me. I won't be hearing from you until this video is up on the internet already in the comment section. I don't know. What a way to start an episode, I guess. Although, let me just say this. I might put my own video out about it to begin with. You know what? I probably will put my own video out there. There's a lovely little thing that's happened. You may have seen it if you follow me on Twitter. And that would be that the fine folks who have made this game, the guys from OOTP Developments, the guys at Franchise Hockey on Twitter, you hear me mention it all the time, they have hooked me up with a lovely discount code. And you can find the details about that in the description, just in case you haven't picked up FHM 4 just yet. If you haven't, well then, you can save a nice 10%, a nifty 10% on your purchase of FHM 4, which I do highly recommend. Let's sim forward. Hashtag definitely an ad. All right, we're back. Happy New Year's Eve to you all. It's December 31st, 2017. I remember it like it was 3 months ago. However, not the best news. We are still behind the Everett Silvertips. We do have 2 games at hand, and we're only 2 points back. So we are on a better point pace, which is surprising because we did lose Ty Smith and Michael Rasmussen for a couple of games each. Nothing too crazy. No major injuries. I haven't looked at this. Jamie McGinn for Connor Murphy. Interesting. The main reason I wanted to update you now is because more than likely we're going to look to make moves, but also, as you would have seen right there, the World Juniors are currently going on. The Under-20 World Junior Tournament is currently taking place. So let's see if I can find that. Of course, the World Cup, when that goes on, the Winter Olympics, everything is here. Oh boy, I can't remember where to find it. That's not good. That's not good. Where do I find it? I don't remember. What if I go over here? If I go over here, I don't have the option to click on the tournament. I'm lost. I forgot where to look. We lost Philip Kral. He's playing for the Czech Republic. We have someone else who is currently missing as well. I do believe not missing, but currently involved in the tournament. I'm trying to remember where to go, man, and I'm too stubborn. World Championship? Probably. I'd like to think that's the one. It's not. World Junior Championship. There we go. I cannot imagine how many people are yelling at me as they're screaming, it's right there. As you get a look at the rankings, 3 games deep for some of these teams. Canada right now, the only perfect record in Group A or Group 1, and then Group 2, the only perfect record, belongs to the Russians. I wonder who's playing for the Canadians. What a team. And to be honest, it's kind of good that the majority of our players aren't currently involved with these teams, even if that's a little bit surprising, as Carter Hart, Sam Steele, McLeod, Owen Tippett, like, that's an amazing team. And of course, we're not having to deal with some of these players currently being around. You also do have to factor in that if we wanted to trade for someone like Cody Glass, he is currently out on international duty, and he wouldn't be eligible. What's the U.S. team look like in comparison? Jake Ottinger, it's a monster. Max Jones, Casey Middlestott, not a bad team. Luke Martin, Logan Brown, Ryan Paling. pretty solid. I'm intrigued to see how the rest of that tournament goes down. However, I'm thinking right now is the time to maybe make a move, even if we go after somebody who isn't exactly eligible, and I mean, or who just flat out isn't eligible, which would be Heponiemi and Cody Glass. Also, Kirby Datch is currently hurt. Gastroenteritis, day to day. That is unfortunate for him, to say the least. So with Heponiemi out, I'm still all right with trading for him. How has he done this season is my main question. 34 points in 30 games with the Swift Current Broncos. So 34 and 30. Cody Glass this year has 30 and 33. All right, so I mean, either would be a very good option. You also have Stelio there, but these are the main two, the only 4-star players available. I think I'm going to go for Heponiemi. Let's see what it would take to try and trade for Alexei Heponiemi, which I'm expecting it to take quite a bit. So when it comes to the players we have the rights to, Kyler Yamamoto, Rasmussen, Dolan, we're not really going to look to move any of these guys. Although moving Popowich might not be the worst idea. Obviously, they're not going to be very receptive to that. Do they have anybody on their team that we could look to take back? I believe the answer to that's going to be yes. They do have a couple of these weaker players. We might be able to make that work. Not sure how I ended up here, though. Misclicked, and now we're lost in the menus. Can I go back to the trade screen? All right, well, let's just keep clicking buttons until I figure out where the hell I am and what the hell I'm doing. How about that? Heponiemi. Let's try this again, shall we? I'm not sure what happened there. I obviously misclicked. I just didn't feel like I did. So who do we have available here? Of course, these are the players that we just outright have the rights to. And I'm trying to think, what would be the best way to go? We got Wetherill. We have Birkin. Maybe trade Birkin and go with Buskey as our backup. Although he is, yeah, he's currently on our team, I do believe. So what if I were to add Birkin? The good thing is it kept all of the previous information as well. We'll go into the Bantam draft. Say I tack on a second-round pick. That doesn't bring us any closer. What about our first? Doesn't bring us any closer. What about the import draft? How valuable are those picks is my question. I mean, and getting someone like Heponiemi is not going to be easy. Obviously, we're going to have to give up a little bit to make this happen. Hamaliuk is not playing, at least full-time. The game isn't putting him in with our current play style, so I'd be all right with throwing him into the trade. Now, I know it says they have their weakness at center. I'm just not sure what I could really do for that. Granted, we are picking up a center. 2 stars. What about Zumak? He's a pretty good player to potentially give up on, though. Let's see, 20 years old. Helgeson could be worth giving up on at 20. He's not going to be eligible to play. And apparently that just made the deal even worse, so figure that one out. Let's take out Thacker and see what else we could potentially do here. Obviously, I'm trying to make this as one-sided into our favor as possible. That's not looking too good. It might be too difficult to get Heponiemi, in fairness. Let's go back to the rights that we have. And there's no one that we'd really want to give up on there. I mean, these bottom three, Golka, Szymanski, and Popowich, they just don't have really that good of value at the moment. I'm not sure who I'm going to trade here. We got Toporowski, but I mean, 16 years old, 4-star potential. He could turn into a really good player for us. What about Kuchansky? 19 years old, one of our older players. We'll throw him into the deal, and we'll also throw Fair into the deal. And then what would it take draft pick-wise? That's my question. I might not be able to. I'm just kind of throwing in these first-round picks just to double-check. I don't know if we have the tools to get Heponiemi here. I got to admit, It's not looking that good. Although we will try the trick of taking back some players. And I think we might be getting a little bit closer to making this work, potentially. I feel like that helped out a little bit. What if I were to throw... Oh, let's go with Birkin into the deal. Still not close enough. All right, so if I had to guess, getting a 4-star player is probably a little bit out of the realm of possibility. If I look at our team strategy, we are currently missing 2 players. We do have some 2.0 ability guys in our lineup. We also have the 2.5 and Hamaliuk. However, I just don't think that's going to be enough. We could look, because I don't really want to move Jared Anderson Dolan. We could look to move Elnuik, though. And it would technically be an improvement in terms of skill. To be honest, that might be the best way to go. And then have Heponiemi, Rasmussen, and Elnuik. But we don't really have that game-changing winger right now, either. The best winger on our team is Fisher. To be honest, I mean, we have Woods, who's a 2.5. It might be better to just leave our centers the way they are and to go out and get a top-line left wing to play alongside the 3.0 Fisher and the 3.5 Rasmussen. So maybe let's take a look at the wingers that we had available here, including Peyton Krebs. For a left wing, we also have Nolan Foote and Kelly as a secondary option. I mean, if we could get Peyton Krebs now, he's pretty much guaranteed to be with us for quite a few seasons. We'll be working out this deal with Kootenay. And let's go to our rights first. Let's throw in Gulka, Szymanski, and Popowich. And then what would it take draft pick-wise? Is the first round enough? Not even close. What about the second round as well? Again, that's the problem because he is 5-star potential. It's just not going to happen. So here's the thing. With controlling a WHL team, I'm not sure of the value that these picks have. Unfortunately, it's not as much value as I would have hoped. So we are having to play this a little bit safe. So what about Kelly here? 3.5-star potential, currently a 3-star guy, 18 years old, Parker Kelly. Playing for Prince Albert, 33 points in 36 games. Could be a very solid pickup for this team. Apparently an Ottawa Senators prospect. Although, he's not currently playing with them, though, but it's not leaving me the offer to trade for him. Where he was with Prince Albert. He's still currently there as well. I'm not sure why it's not leaving me the option to trade for him, but certainly that hurts my my game plan. This is, in general, taking longer than I would have thought. So for right wings, let's sort this out by potential. Who's the cheapest option? Trey Fix-Wolanski, who, let's take a look at how he has done this season. 37 points in 33 games for the Edmonton Oil King. Let's see if we can get a deal done. Maybe add a winger to this team just to kind of strengthen things up a little bit. We'll go with Gulka, Szymanski, and Popowich just to start. That's up to well-balanced already, so that's not too bad. And we'll look to throw in maybe one of our weaker players here. I don't know, how much has Bruce played? I don't really recall Bruce playing that much, but can we throw him in there to make it work? That's still not enough. I'm alright with this, though, because now we can throw in, either we can throw in a weaker draft pick, or we can take back one of the weaker players on their team to hopefully push that over the limit, which it's not looking too good right now. We might have to go to rights instead. Actually, that works. There we go. So we might be able to work out a deal for Trey Fix-Wolanski without having to give up too much. So not my initial target. Unfortunately, I'd have too many players. I would have way too many players. That is the one thing I didn't factor in. Right, so we can't do it that way. We cannot do it that way. Let's go to the trade offers. So what about a 3rd round pick this year? Not really enough value. What about a 2nd? Still not enough value. 1st round pick in the draft? Still not enough. What about the import draft? First round pick? Hey, there we go. There's value in the import draft. It's a risk, but I will give up that first round pick in the import draft to make this happen. We want to make a run this year. So we have that trade offer out. Let's move forward. Hopefully we get an answer back quickly. I'll try to keep an eye out on the World Juniors as best I can. And we'll take it from there. I'm not thinking that we're done as we beat the Tri-City Americans 2-1. We actually had back-to-back games against them, as you can see up in the corner. So a 4-3 win and a 2-1 win. Brandon beats the Moose Jaw Warriors, and Seattle crushes Portland in the games for today. But again, I'm not thinking that we're done. I'm going to try to work out some other deals if I can. Like I said, we have 2 seasons. We've signed on for 2 seasons here in Spokane, and I want to get a win as soon as possible. Unfortunately, it's loading up quite a bit of information, so I'm gonna make a jump cut here. I'll see you in a second. All right, we are back again. The U.S. World Junior team with a big victory over Belarus, but that's not what we care about. The first thing that I care to make note of is that the 2018 WHL Bantam Draft evaluation, the rankings are out. And we're looking at some of the potential future stars of not only this league, but beyond, with Lovell Perreault as the top guy, one of multiple players with 5-star potential. It goes all the way down to number 13, Chad McDonald. What a name. As generic as it gets. You can't get more generic than a Chad. But these are apparently the top 22 players in the upcoming draft. And of course, we have an update. The deal has been accepted. So we are moving on, and it's a risk, obviously, to be moving this pick after just looking at this evaluation board. However, we kind of, we know what we want to do. We're kind of banking on that pick being terrible. We're going for it here in year 1. And what better way to go for it? Well, there are better ways to go for it, but that's all right. I will gladly have Trey Fix-Wolanski be our silver medal, even if it's just for the name alone. We also give up the rights of some players that we're never going to use, and Josh Bruce, who at the moment isn't even in our lineup. Actually, he is. He's our 4th-line right wing. There's an easy replacement for him, and that replacement is named Trey Fix-Wolanski. So it worked out pretty well. Let's do this. Welcome to Spokane, Trey Fix-Wolanski. Also, some players changed up some nationalities. Eric Perrin is now eligible for the Finnish team. Michael Frolik now eligible for the Canadian team. So that's one of the cool things that this game does, much like we see in real life, where some players, you'll have, I'm trying to think of the example, but you'll have some players, obviously born and raised in Canada. They end up playing for different nationalities or different national teams. The same thing can happen here. So let's go ahead and set this up. We have a new top line right wing, that being Trey Fix-Wolanski. And if I were to set up this team on my own, I would probably put Anderson Dolan as the top line left wing. But needless to say, as we are continuing to battle for that top spot, we are currently in the top spot, tied with Everett in points with a game at hand. Things are looking pretty good for us. Let's see what happens here. I do have another offer currently out. If it's accepted, I'll be back in a moment. If not, let's go up to January 10th. And wouldn't you know it, my other trade has also gone through. We're going to look to acquire Jarrett Tishka from the Seattle Thunderbirds, along with a couple of throwaways that we're just going to look to get rid of. But we're going to be moving Brandon Kochanski, Carter Brown, Aiden Muchensky, and Carter Fair. Now, Kochanski, Brown, and Muchensky. Do we have any of them? Brown, not currently in our lineup. Muchensky, not currently in our lineup, so it kind of makes all the sense in the world to move on from these players. Carter Fair is currently the 4th goaltender on our depth chart, so it makes all the sense in the world. Like I mentioned, Muchensky is at the bottom there as well. It's a pretty good deal. I see no reason as we wouldn't do it. There's Kochanski as well. So we're getting rid of a whole lot of nothing for the most part. Again, Fair, Muchansky, Kochanski, and then it was Carter Brown. I do believe so. There at the bottom for defense. It's a whole lot of nothing to bring back Jarrett Tishka, who has 20 points in 37 games as a defenseman this season. And we're also weakening a potential rival in the Seattle Thunderbirds by getting this deal to go through. So we have improved we've already improved ourselves offensively. We have now brought in a defensive improvement as well. He'll be on the second pairing behind Ty Smith in terms of left-handed shots on the depth chart. So the question now, as you get a look at what our team looks like, it's pretty damn solid, really top to bottom throughout this lineup. It's just now a matter of whether or not we try to go for one more move. Now, we do have Birkin out day-to-day and McKay out with a respiratory infection for 1 to 2 weeks. So we do have to factor that into the current team. But looking here, Kyler Yamamoto is not currently in our lineup, of course, out on international duty. That was the other player, along with Kral. Hemeliuk is still out of the lineup. Leduc is not in the lineup. And Feist is currently out of the lineup. So while I don't necessarily want to trade away all of our depth, we could move a player, an overager like Hemeliuk at 19 years old. We'll keep Leduc for the future. Feist at 16, probably worth keeping. I want to move Hemeliuk and get another offensive improvement. I'm just not sure who that is going to be. Actually, let me go back and double check here. He's 2.5 star. So at 2.5 star, we could look for one of the numerous 3-star players. We'll go with the lowest potential. Of course, we acquired Trey Fix-Wolansky, so we'll take him off the list. I wish it would do that automatically once they're on your team. But if we look here, Bellerive, not exactly needed. We have Tishka. So I'm thinking the guy to go for, at least in terms of easy value, would probably be Davis, at least easier value. Obviously going for a 4-star potential guy as opposed to a 4.5 or even a 5-star without completely leveraging our entire future and getting very few decent picks in the top draft or in this next draft at the top of that draft. I'm thinking it's Brett Davis here that will be the guy to go for. 37 points in 39 games. Again, from the Kootenay Ice. Could be a very solid pickup for us. The question is, do I have the assets alongside that defenseman that I'm looking to shop to make this happen? We got to go to Chiefs rights, I believe. No? Where is this guy? Let's sort by name. Hemeliuk, Bueller. There he is. All right, so we got Hemeliuk. How else can we make this happen? Because apparently this isn't close. Now, we don't have the players with the rights to be traded away. What about if we go by age? Who is not in the lineup? Again, Birkin's out. We have Kral, McKay, Pohl, who was one of the throwaways we acquired, so he's going to have no value whatsoever. Yeah, so it's going to have to be draft picks if we're going to pull this off. We have already leveraged that first pick in the import draft. How valuable is the second? The second is able to bring that up to medium or to well-balanced. I don't know where the hell medium came from. Second round pick there isn't enough. Obviously, the import draft, it has a decent amount of value. I just don't know if I want to get rid of both picks. As we're able to, yeah, see, even then, I think it's going to be needed. You know what? It's worth it. I want to go for it in year one. Bottom line, I want to go for it. Let's leverage maybe our second round pick next year. That doesn't bring it up to well-balanced. That does. So we are risking a lot to try and make this happen. That's actually not enough. What about the third rounder? That's not enough either. Oh boy. Second rounder. Still not enough. Oh my god. Alright, and I think the reason why is I accidentally got rid of the wrong pick. That would make sense. So this second rounder from the import draft, we'll go back here. How did I accidentally... I don't know why I accidentally removed that. That was a pretty dumb mistake on my part. Admittedly, this is another one of those episodes where I probably should have gotten some sleep. Haven't done it. Oh, that's why, because it drops it down to the bottom for whatever reason. Let's take out the 4th pick. Oh, boy. Well, I said I wanted to go for it. I would, in fact, be going for it if I add any more to this. Oh, and this is just to get Brett Davis. This isn't even to get a Heponiemi. What about that first? What about a 4th from there? Is that enough? There we go. Okay. Is this worth it to go for it this year? I'm going to see how low of a pick I can offer. All right, so pretty much no matter what I offer, that's going to be enough. Even the 14th. So, it would be Dalton Hamaliuk, who knows, along with our 1st round pick in the Bantam draft, our 4th and 14th pick, or Regina's 4th pick, we'd still have our own, and our other import draft option. If I trade both import draft options, people are going to roast me for that, aren't they? Unless I win the Memorial Cup, which, you know what? I like the pressure. Let's send that trade. Actually, we are within the deadline window. It can be immediately accepted. Let's do it. Let's do it. Brett Davis, welcome to Spokane. Please deliver. I really need you to. As we get a look at the team, it's now Woods, Rasmussen, Fix-Wolansky, McIndoe, Anderson, Dolan, Davis, Fafrak. That's my best name. That's best name of the series right there. Fafrak, Elniuk, and Fisher, Chenye, Zumak, and McGrew. And of course, we got McGruber down there. We are without Kyler Yamamoto at the moment. So you factor that in. You factor the 2 players that are off on international duty. Both are starters in this lineup. I'm feeling pretty good. I can only hope, as you again get a look at this lineup, that we have done enough to make it happen. Because heading into year 2, no Hudson Elniuk, no Fisher. Helgeson is also gone, guaranteed to be gone. And we could also lose someone like Kyler Yamamoto that early. So let's sim forward. We want to get towards the end of the year in this episode, so we might be making quite a bit of progress. But there you go. Our team is as good to go as it pretty much can be. It's as well set up as it pretty much can be. One more quick update here. As we are on deadline day, there are no moves to be made. However, Yamamoto and Krall have rejoined the team. Krall on that top defensive pairing with Ty Smith, and Kyler Yamamoto has rejoined Rasmussen on the top line. So the second line is now Ethan McIndoe with Anderson, Dolan, and Davis. Third line, Toporowski, Elniuk, and Fix-Wolansky. Zach Fisher dropped all the way down to the 4th line. Probably not the best use of him, but that does show how much depth we have in the team now, as I also wanted to show you the results of the World Junior Championship. The United States takes the gold. It was a 7-2 victory over Finland in that gold medal game. I wish I could see the results. I don't believe I can. Canada beat Slovakia 3-2 in the bronze medal game. As you get a look there through the first 4 games, Canada was 4-0, the only 4-0 team in the group stage. Canada beat Switzerland 4-1. Finland beat Denmark 5-4. The States beat Russia 3-2, and Slovakia upset Sweden 2-1 in the second round. The U.S. beat Canada, perhaps an upset, 4-1. Finland shut out Slovakia 4-0, and then of course again the U.S. wins gold 7-2 over Finland. Canada takes bronze after the 3-2 win over Slovakia. As we take a look here, would it be under history, or is history going to load up everything in terms of the World Juniors? It actually might, which is pretty damn cool. There's also these other options here for the international world. I don't dare click on them now, as you do get to see the point leaders. Puljujärvi put up 12 points in this tournament. Steenbergen and Middlestop both at 9. DiPietro, Larson, and Luukkonen all with shutouts. I do want to take a look at the stats, though. I'm surprised that's what it loaded up for history, although I did just see the award tab, and I regret not clicking on it. But it does have the information, 9.3 goals per game. We're going to go back to that. Steenbergen, 8 goals. led the tournament. The point leader was Puljujärvi with 12. Liljegren scored the only shorthanded goal of the tournament, and Cheadle was dominant with the face-offs. Let's go back to the history tab really quickly here, as, of course, we have the results for the very first tournament. But yeah, 9.3 goals per game throughout the tournament. That is ridiculous, but it is pretty cool that it keeps track of everything. So with that all said and done, the focus shifts back solely to what we are doing here. We did lose our last game to Kamloops, which is unfortunate because now Everett do have 1 point on us. They're 3 points ahead. With a win, we'd still be 1 point behind. So we have some work to do. Let's see if we can finally claim that top spot after chasing the Silvertips really throughout the course of this entire season so far. Another update for you guys. There's a little bit of information here that we got to get through. First and foremost, and most importantly, needless to say, our moves have paid off. We have 2 games in hand on Everett, and we're 8 points ahead. So without a doubt, we have established ourselves as the top team in the WHL at the moment, or at least in our division. However, there was also this deal. Bo Horvat traded for Ilya Kovalchuk, because why not? Some of the trades, I haven't even followed along with most of them because they've been that ridiculous. In fairness, Kovalchuk only has 19 points in 47 games. Ilya Kovalchuk, your newest Vancouver Canuck. How strange is that to say? And I'm pretty sure that was the last bit of news that I had to update you on. So that is all taken care of. We have a little bit to go, a month before the playoffs begin. So let's go ahead and make it up to that point, and we'll see how it all plays out as we get ready for what you'd like to think is going to be a postseason run, and hopefully a deep postseason run. We are actually still competing for that top spot in the WHL, the number 1 team in our division. We're 2 points back of Regina with 3 games at hand. It's looking pretty good. And here we are. The end of the season. We are 72 games out of 72 games in. The season is over. We are 1 day shy of finding out the postseason matchups, although I suppose we could figure them out on our own if we really wanted to. And as you might have expected, it's a division title in the books for the Spokane Chiefs, as we finished with 10 more points than the Everett Silvertips. However, we only finished with the 3rd best record in the WHL, the Regina Pats, with 106 points, 105 from Medicine Hat. We finished with 103. So we still were one of the best teams in the league, no doubt about that. 27-5-4 for a home record. Looks pretty good until you see Regina was 31-5. But again, 103 points. A rough season for the Prince George Cougars. But 3rd place in the WHL, I will take it. No problem. That sets us up very well as we head into the postseason. Of course, a lot of changes happened to this team. As you guys get a look at the point totals, Jared Anderson Dolan, 82 points in 70 games. Rasmussen with 81. Kyler Yamamoto missed a decent portion of the season. He still finished with 40 points, and if he can really get his game going in the postseason, I think we're going to be good to go. You guys can look at the rest of the point totals if you wish to. With the goaltending, Wetherill was our main starter, only at .895. Buskey, good old Buskey, 4 games, a .933 save percentage, so we might have a little bit of controversy when it comes to the goaltending. Maybe just a little bit. It might be worth taking a look at that situation before the playoffs begin. So we're going to try to take a look here at the league-wide stats, as Phillips finished the year with the most goals, 43. He was one of 2 players alongside Ty Ronning to break the 40-goal mark. Anderson Dolan finished in 3rd. You also had Jesse Gabriel, Jordy Stollard, Rasmussen was up there as well in the top 10. The point leader was Phillips. Jesse Gabriel. Howden was up there, which is pretty nice. Mason Shaw, Anderson Dolan, Rasmussen. Not too bad. Morgan Geekie. What a great name. Morgan Geekie. I hope he makes the NHL. As we take a look at the goaltending leaders. Hopefully it doesn't take too long to load up. I blame my awful PC more than anything. And indeed, there we go. We're good. So Wilms finished with 40 wins. I have no idea what team he was on, but that is okay. Birkin, who is currently injured. That is indeed what happened. I honestly kind of forgot about it. How long is he out for? He will be back soon. He's out day to day. So we do have 3 goaltenders, all of whom could rightfully be our starter heading into the postseason. But let's get a look at what the postseason situation will be. We will go through the entire postseason in the next episode. This was more about getting the team set and getting to this point. We have arrived, and I'm intrigued to see who we're going to be facing in the 3rd round. Again, I will gladly take a division title. I will gladly accept being the 3rd best team in the league, given certain circumstances, and we will be playing the Vancouver Giants in the 1st round. Bailey Birkin is back. So actually, if we take a look here, I do wonder what goaltender would be better. I mean, we know Birkin had the wins, but, you know, let's take a look at the standings here. So here we are. We have the matchup against the Vancouver Giants in the 1st round. The Portland Winterhawks face the Everett Silvertips. We have the Tri-City Americans, and the Rockets Kamloops takes on the Victoria Royals. Over on the other side, we have Regina, and I don't know who this is. Swift Current, that makes sense. We have, I don't know who this is either, Prince Albert, that makes sense, going up against Moose Jaw. We have Red Deer and Medicine Hat, and the Kootenay Ice against the Edmonton Oil King. So there you go. That is what this looks like at this point in time. That's what this matchup is shaping, or what the matchups are shaping up to be here for the WHL playoffs. Our road towards getting to the Memorial Cup, earning our way in, begins in the next episode, again, as we take on the Vancouver Giants in the 1st round. Tyler Benson, Ty Ronning, Milos Roman, Dylan Plouffe, Dawson Holt, and Taylor I don't know, Popowich, though. Yeah, we got to go through this team. They got a guy named Ho. It's going to be a barn burner, I'm sure. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Again, sorry for a little bit of a delay between episodes. I'm just terrible at what I do. What can I say? Until next time, make sure, of course, to leave feedback down in the comment section below. If you've enjoyed the video, leave a like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Links in the description, as I mentioned. Have a good one. Take it easy. Goodbye for now.